Hello everyone and welcome to the Deeply Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deeply Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 207. Today is Sunday, November 19th, 2017, and I'm glad you could join me today. It was a late recording week again. I had unexpected Saturday plans that preoccupied my time. It ended up being fun, but it was the case where it's like, And this week I get to have hot cider, so that's good. It's a little bit too late for coffee, and it's definitely dark out. I'm hoping the lighting is a little bit better. I'm trying something different. So, no surprise, the desktop on my laptop background was blue, and I think that was really screwing with stuff. So hopefully this is more natural. I'm trying to counteract it by having the background be black. So hopefully that works. It hasn't been a super duper exciting knitting week, so we can blow right through that. The only project I'm actively working on right now are my aerial socks. I finally made a project page for them. I have yet to take a photo though, but I have turned a heel. So you can see how obnoxiously bright and happy they are. The main color is Berry Colorful Yearnings Super Sock, or Super Saturated Sock, or whatever, in the Kumquat colorway, and then the magenta portions are a Wollmeise We're Different skein that I had made socks for the Dear Siglo Wool one for before the podcast. It's been a while. You probably haven't ever seen that one before. So, turned the heel, finished the leg, decided to go with a normal length leg, decided to go a smidge longer than 2 inches for the heel flap, and now I am cruising on the gusset. I'm pretty happy. What would it be? The gusset it was a lot of fun. I wasn't enjoying myself on the gusset, but knitting, stocking it around, enjoyable. I'm a big fan. So it was just the case where I finally got back in the round yesterday. I was like, yes, this is, or what is it? Like when you're like, this is the knitting that I want to do right now. So that's positive. Ooh, it's a decrease. So this is coming along fairly nicely. I'm hoping to get pretty far on it. What would it be? There might be like a accidental self-imposed deadline. If not, it won't be the end of the world to mail, but I prefer not. So we shall see. Unless that deadline is this Tuesday instead of next Tuesday, in which case there's no hope. So it's coming along nicely. There isn't too much distortion in the stripes, so the most it is that there is a 4-row stripe at the very beginning of the color transition, and then it's been sort of 5 or 6 rows again, because mostly it's been a 6-row stripe. So I think it'll be fairly subtle, if you know what I mean, as far as whatever the disruption. So knitting a contrast heel flap, I think, is the best way to keep the stripes nice, if that makes any sense. So that is the story there. I'm doing a pattern called Just Ribbing, and I'm actually following it too. It's my vanilla sock pattern, honestly. It's nothing that special. The primary thing is that It's a 2x1 rib. So I think it looks really cute folded down. Because then you get to see maybe more distinctly the fact that the knitting is only like 1 row and then the purls are 2. So it tends to be a good, what is it, all season sock for me. Not that it really matters anymore, it seems like I wear pants year round. But in situations where you don't want to have like full 6-inch leg socks, these ones look good folded down, whereas some pattern socks don't. So they tend to be in the rotation a little bit more during the summertime for me. You can see how things are coming along. I think someone had asked a question actually in Sock Knitters about why it was that it had this little wrinkle here basically in the sock, and I think after some thought and review I may just need to take a picture like this and be like, it's just the way it is. You can be accepting or you cannot be accepting of that. So let's see. So I still have 7 more decreases, or 6.5 more decreases to go before I'm done with the gusset, and then it'll really fly. But you can sort of see the fun ribbing. And I suppose I could show you how it looks like with it folded over. So I think it's pretty cute. I'll have to maybe trim that end a little better or cut it, but I know I tried to be careful about the weaving in of my ends on this guy, so it would look cute either way, but it should be good. The only thing I'm going to be doing different on this pair of socks is the person at Ariel has a size 6 foot, so I have to make it like a little bit more than ½ an inch shorter than I normally would make a sock, so there's that. So that's been all of my knitting time this week. I didn't take out my everyday socks at all. I did a pretty good project page cleanup. I did a pretty good project page cleanup to sort of set everything, make sure that everything was up to date and that sort of thing. Figure out which ones didn't have photos, so I'll have to take a photo of that guy, but not right now. And I've been working on the Everdeen socks since mid-June. Oh, poor unloved socks. Though I suppose that mid-June, was that? Yeah, I bet that was. It was unreasonable. I really do love the way cables and lace look, but oh my gosh, it is not very fun for me right now to be knitting it. I remembered something now that I can see the screen. I did finish something this week. Yay! I'm wearing it right now. So this is my Sock Kid hat, I do believe. Or what is it? And the designer is Kelly McClure. I knit it out of Molly Girl yarn in the Bossa Nova Sport in the colorway Cold as Ice. So you can see the cool pooling, swirling action. And then if I scooch the ribbing down, I can get it to be like a light slouch. Not like a crazy slouch, but you know. Or even, honestly, this might make it less of a head oven if I just have it be super duper slouchy. So honestly, yeah. So, as far as decreases are concerned, so if you want the hat to be totally flat, you would divide the number of stitches by 8 and go around like so. If you wanted the hat to be a little bit, would it be puckered in, and this is sometimes said as the ideal cat decrease, you would have 10 wedges and then decrease down from there. And for some reason I was just making crap up. And I ended up doing 14 wedges. So this results in, I don't know, I think my, oh, I've been wearing the headband, but mostly I've just been wearing the hat. So this results in something that's maybe a little bit more wedgy. And you can see how it sort of puckers in a little bit more and swirls a little bit more. But that's like totally like non-traditional hat decrease action going on there. But a good amount of slouch, but then still fits this beanie. Because when I'm riding with the top down, I noticed that my single layer hat wasn't warm enough, even though it did have pretty serious alpaca content. It wasn't windproof enough for me. So this one, with the double layer option, rejigger, has the double thickness on my ears, which makes me feel warm. So this, what would it be, was a part of the quest for the hat of happiness and joy. I still haven't found that other one. It's so sad. It's so sad. But this is satisfactory for what I'm trying to accomplish. I don't know how much yarn I use. I definitely have plenty left. I'll have to weigh it because that was one of my like leftover things from cleaning up my project pages. It's sticky. But it went really quickly. What I ended up doing was I spent the day reading last Sunday and was just sort of knitting on the hat while reading the book, and it was lovely. I enjoyed it greatly. And it wasn't too much. What would it be? So it was good that this was super duper boring in order to accomplish that. It also helped that the book would just lie flat in my lap, so that was good as well. So this week, no progress was made on my Greenwood Fiberworks fiber. I carried it around all week, but I didn't do anything. I ended up bringing my wheel to Knit Night instead, and so I think that resulted in me not working on that project. So it was a lot of sock knitting, or unpleasant, heel flap knitting, and then spinning, which was good. I needed a bit of spinning in my life. And then I ended up starting this project. Not that it's really a project, it's more like I'm spinning a sample with my new Bosworth spindle. So this is my fleece that I combed in the grease, so it has a certain yellow tinge to it, and a certain greasiness and stickiness to it that is entirely due to that. But good getting to know you for the spindle and how it reacts and what it's doing. And honestly, I haven't been up here since then, so I just sort of forgot about it. But now that I'm like sitting here, so I got most of the ball done, but not all of it, which is fine. It'll probably just continue living up here, but it has been very pleasant to work with. Makes me really glad. You know, sometimes you're like, I spent so much on tools, and be like, oh, but these are good tools. Like, okay, it's alright. So, nice. It's very nice to have good tools. What is it? So, I'll probably wash this very hard, because it is in the grease. And a little bit tacky, to say the least. I'll probably, I don't know if I'll make a couple of different sample skeins with it. I don't think I'm so crazy as to think I'll spin an entire fleece on my spindle. Not that crazy. I was that crazy, but now I have a wheel. And even then I spun some of that yarn on my wheel after I got my wheel, so. But whatever, not too much more to go. Quite a long staple, and also just trying to make sure I'm putting the right amount of twist in, because I'm used to working with a lot of shorter stapled wool. So that was also part of the learning experience. On the London front, I have been, already got a decent amount done. Oops. On my emerald pools. So this is, there we go. I didn't have it shimmied forward enough. So this, even then, that was sort of marginal. So this is my emerald pools. You can see that this is a very full bobbin, so I decided to do another another cable ply yarn. And this has a brown, a sort of sandier brown, a sort of dove gray, and then a blue that's sort of tealish looking blue with it. And this is how much fiber I have left to spin. So you can see here, the gray is on the bottom of the loop, and then the tealy blue is on either side. And then you can see a little bit of the sandy shade of brown there. So this is how much I have left of my third ball of quarters, and then this is my last ball of quarters. So you can see the darker brown in there. So almost done with the singles. It's looking pretty promising. A good movie, maybe even, I don't know, probably a good movie, and then I'll be done with the singles, and then I can wind it up and ply it, and then wind it up again and ply it. And probably what I will do, I don't know if I intend to do that. I noticed that I'm on the finest ratio of my, on the ludicrous ratio of my fast flyer. I don't know whether or not I intended to do that. Oh well, it's probably not a big deal. So when I apply this, I'll stay on the ludicrous ratio to make sure that I put in plenty of twist, because then I'll be taking a lot of that extra twist out when I apply it back on itself. So that's one way by design to make it so, and I'm also sort of impressed that my wheel's just standing there in space. It's wedged against my chair. So I started with the one long color run, and then I did the section of 2, then I did the section of 8, because I didn't want the shortest butting up against, or applying up against the longest. I don't know why, they're all gonna get mixed up anyways, but that was my thought process. And then now I'm doing the borders. So the third level in my little dealio. So excited. I really hope to get the oh, that was pretty really on there. I'm hoping to get the singles done before Thanksgiving and maybe get started on the plying even. Depends on how much I spend tonight. Would it be? Because I won't have time to spend tomorrow. I might have some time to spend on Tuesday at the expense of packing. I was just trying to make sure all of my favorites were clean. As you do. There'll probably be some like laundry folding and other fun stuff. You ready to go to New York? So the other thing was with respect to the combing project, and I'm just updating you guys on the combing project to sort of keep myself responsible. I have made it halfway. And though crazy makingly, I'm gonna have to get a tool. I'm pretty sure. So here is the fiber. Does that look like it might be purple? I don't know, or it just looks vaguely gray. I can't tell. Is it actually showing up as the right color? It's hard to tell. So, I think one more ball and I'll be past the halfway point. I just weighed my bag of what have you. And so, and perhaps that's not even really the case at all, but it'd be the case where I think one more and then I'll be further along for sure. My problem, which has been for some time now, is the fact that, see how they're very different colors? This guy has more teal in it, and this one looks more purple. So I want to blend them on a hackle, because I can't really do a good job of blending them on combs, or blending them with my combs. So I decided to go on a quest for a hackle this week. There is one spinning shop in Dallas, and so I tried to figure out whether or not they carried what I was looking for. Couldn't find anything. Emailed the owner. Didn't get a response back from the owner. Decided to just drop by the shop anyways. They didn't have it. But the owner is super duper friendly. It's primarily a weaving shop. But they have all of the shocked, many of the Luette wheels, like out and ready to be tried. And then a bunch of Ashland Bay and Luette spinning fiber. And then a wide variety of looms and weaving yarns and that sort of thing. So there were people who were doing like the weaving class while I was there, and all of that other fun stuff. So I ended up, because I did drive all the way there, I ended up picking up a thing of wool wash. So I got the Yolecan Eucalan in the lavender scent. What would it be? So shouldn't be too crazy. I do enjoy some no rinse wool wash, and I ran out, or I'm nearly out of my what is it? Definitely lavender. I'm nearly out of my bijou basin over. So this let me not need to pay shipping on liquid. So I will go back One of my friends was interested in coming along, but I realized it was going to be a quickie trip, so we'll probably go together at a later time. Maybe I can convince her to start another craft, we'll see. Or enable her into a spinning wheel. Who knows? So evil. My friend has a pretty bad neck pain, and so the motion and spinning like that really does result in her having a 15-minute maximum for spinning. So I'm wondering whether or not having a wheel would actually make it a little bit more comfortable for her. We shall see. It's worth trying to enable at the very least. But really excited that there's a real honest-to-goodness spinning shop in town. And even though I'm not personally a big fan of the shocked wheels, I have to give them props for actually having everything in stock, ready to go, ready to try. And they also had a variety of other very sensitive things, so that was cool. I'll definitely be back to whatever the White Rock Weaving Center. I'm sort of tempted to take a weaving class because I'm curious, but I don't know. I'm not sure, or what would it be? I might need to actually pick up sewing in order to properly take advantage of weaving. So, the other thing that I've been pondering, though honestly, I don't know why I'm concerned exactly, is what would it be? Because I am going on vacation, which involves lots of knitting. Should I start another project? Always important to have everything sort of up to date with like the wish list and that sort of thing, so that if your swap partner wants to pick something up for you, they can. And whatever, just making sure that I had matches, so it'd be the case where, yes, I'm planning on knitting this shawl with this yarn and this shawl with that yarn, and here is the pattern I intend for the sweater quantity, and here's the other pattern for the different sweater quantity, and you know, like just having it be organized. Like some of the stuff in the stash has no plan, but for the stuff in the stash that does have a plan, like, should make it easy. So I threw up, what would it be? Most of my sweater, or what would it be? Like my skeins of wool, my lace, they're anytime sweaters. They can be whatever the hell they want, whenever they want. But I have a sport weight sweater that's going to be a rolling rock. I have my linen yarn that is going to become a pimentone. I have my DK Madeline-tosh that I'm planning on turning into some sort of DK weight sweater. I have 2 contenders. What would it be? No, I'm blanking, but oh well. Oh, there's such nonsense. Or maybe I'll just start some, like, not even do any of those, and like start like another hat or cowl or something like that. There's been something really satisfying about simple knits, as you can tell by how much I'm enjoying my simple socks and my simple hat, and just have to accept. Like, that's where my mind is right now. So, what would it be? I was participating in a sweater sal-cal that might just continue going on into the future. In which case I should wind that yarn and be ready to go. and that would result in a breathing space. I probably need to swatch. Oh, well. Well, I definitely probably am pretty good with respect to socks. It's just been fun knitting simple socks. I guess the other pondering, I bet there's not enough time though. So, every year, the women's group at my work does a Christmas party where we have like a white elephant swap, and everyone was very much so hoping last year that I put knitting in there. So if I had actually done that, but it would involve starting immediately in order to do that. So I don't know. I'm not sure. There's definitely some things that would probably be fun to do. Or even some like interesting variations on things, I don't even know. Like a tube cowl or something like that. It wouldn't involve a lot of thought, but would look very cute. It would cause a lot of things to tumble down, I think, if I pulled out that air though. No. But it's pretty nice. But that's sort of where I've been sort of bouncing around, is do I make something for that, or do I do something like this, or do I accept the fact that I have a spinning project I've made very, very small progress on every time I've worked at socks that I've had going on for June, and then deadline knitting, but I'm probably fine on projects unless I decide I just really do want to make the whatever, something for the holiday swap. I don't know. The new shiny does seem very attractive. Like, I'm sort of like bouncing between like a tube cowl that's actually done sort of biasy, so maybe more a la Viajante without the never-ending increases, or something like a foolproof, because I have like 3 colors that would be perfect for it. I don't even know. Okay, we're still sort of freezing and awkward, so hopefully it's all okay. But I don't know, I'm just in flux. And I feel good doing some yarn now. Don't we all have that feeling? I should be able to record next week. What would it be? It would definitely be Sunday, so that would make it the 26th. Crazy. But yeah, it'll definitely Sunday. It'll might be dark, we'll see. Go from there. So with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So take care, guys. Bye bye.